billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. In the previous lectures, we have discussed 4 arguments supporting the grand truth that the Quran is a revealed book, divine book, having its source with the Ummul Kitab, protected with Allah. The 5th argument that we will discuss today is titled Qur'anic Predictions were proven over the passage of time. Several predictions were made in the Quran 15 centuries ago, having futuristic impact or relevance, which proved true with the passage of time or with the progress of human knowledge and technology, establishing the truth that the Quran is a revealed book. Some of these predictions will be shared with you here now. So, dear friends, let us begin with the miraculous prediction made in Ayat 53 of Surah Fussilat about expansion of human knowledge that will help comprehend. What is comprehend? Understand the divinity of the Quran with the passage of time. This was prediction. The ayat says, we will show them our signs, them people of all generations. We will show them our signs in the horizons, universe, and within themselves, self of the human, until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. It means Quran. Until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran is the truth. Just imagine how evidently this prediction has been proved. Note the evolution of human knowledge and how it has witnessed the truth of Quran. In lecture 209, we discussed in detail how the emerging discoveries of science have been proved consistent with the Quranic information, starting from the scientific discoveries regarding emergence of the universe, generally named as Big Bang or quantum singularity, and the reality of the black holes, to the splitting of the atom and fission of its dust, the minutest particles of the atom, dust generating great energy and force, all have their precursors in the Quranic revelations. What is the precursors? Precursors are indicators, foretelling, advanced information. So, human body, besides its spiritual dimensions, is a great phenomenon of Allah's divinity. For example, scientific discovery of operational mechanism for seeing reveals the divinity functioning behind the material setting of this human faculty. Light rays emanating from an article fall inversely. What is inversely? Oppositely, on the eye's retina, from where they are transmitted into electric signals by cells to reach a point at the back of human brain called center of vision. What is called? Center of vision. In this center, these electrical signals are perceived as images. This much is the materiality of the process, which tells that the brain is absolutely insulated from light, keeping the vision center in complete darkness. This vision center is totally dark. Here the divinity is evidently observed. Now you will appreciate the divinity here. Divinity, which is not material. Despite pitch darkness in the vision center, we observe a luminously bright world here. Where? In the vision center, which is the dark. The images that have taken place in the eye are so perfectly sharp and distinct that even the modern technology and its sophisticated lenses could hardly produce even a little of its match. Little, not much. No comparison. Thus, as the human knowledge will keep on evolving, more and more Quranic truth will be becoming evident to humanity as predicted in the verse we just referred. So, dear friends, Allah has honored the man with great trust by subordinating resources of the universe to him so that he could serve to the cause of Allah and well-being of humanity in the most befitting manner. Two objectives: to serve the cause of Allah, will of Allah, and well-being of humanity. Just imagine the significance of service to humanity, well-being of humanity. Surah Luqman describes this great trust in the words, "Do you not see that Allah has made subject to you whatever, not something, whatever is in the heavens, in the universe, and whatever is in the earth, and amply bestowed upon you," bestowed, blessed upon you, His favor, both apparent, which can be seen, and unapparent, which can't be seen. But of the people is he who disputes about Allah without knowledge or guidance or an enlightening book from Him. Now just imagine how Allah fulfilled His promise predicted in the Quran. Imagine, the man was blessed with wonderful faculties of observation. What is observation? Based on 5 senses. Faculties of observation, intellect, and spirit to nurture his abilities essentially required to subordinate resources of the universe. What is nurture? To promote, to grow, to cultivate. We find hundreds of Quranic verses whereby the man is forcefully, not ordinarily, forcefully desired to look into wonders of the universe and human self. Search for the truth lying behind the marvels of the nature and feel the sublimity. What is sublimity? The grace. Feel the sublimity of grand divine order permeated in every particle of the universe, urging the man, motivating with great emphasis, urging the man for complete submission to the will of Allah and to effectively grow and employ the resources of the universe for the goodness of humanity. Again, 2 things: submission to the will of Allah and goodness of humanity. How important is goodness of humanity, which we generally ignore. Further to that, the man was blessed with divine wisdom. What is divine wisdom? The revealed books revealed by Allah, the divine books. Of them, the Quran is final and the most comprehensive edition. However, understanding of the Quranic revelations, it's very important. Understanding of the Quranic revelations grows with intellectual growth of the man over the passage of time, as we discussed in Ayat 53 of Surah Fussilat. So, dear friends, there are hundreds and thousands modern scientific discoveries whose precursors, indicators, we find in the verses of Quran. That is the reason the Muslims must make serious and devoted efforts to seek knowledge of modern sciences and the Quran, so that synergy between the two may lead the Muslim community to higher echelons of wisdom and progress. Besides the evident precursors we discussed in lecture 209, there are several other revelations, ayat, statements of Quran that impliedly predicted futuristic, astrophysical and other scientific developments which were proven true over the passage of time. This process is not yet closed. This process is not yet closed. Many more secrets of the nature may be known by acquiring higher knowledge and spiritual vision as revealed in Ayat 33 of Surah Ar-Rahman, shown on the screen. Have a look on it. This hope given in the ayat, this hope is quite evidently witnessed in the remarks given by Professor Yoshiri Kosan, director of the Tokyo Observatory, Japan. He says, note the words, I am very much impressed. Professor is saying, I am very much impressed by finding true astronomical facts in Quran. And for us, modern astronomers have been studying very small piece of the universe. We have concentrated our efforts for understanding of very small part. By using telescopes, we can see only very few parts of the sky without thinking about the whole universe. Then he advises, so by reading Quran and by answering to the questions through Quranic guidance, I think I can find my future way for investigation of the universe. What a trust of a non-Muslim on the Quran, because he is a knowledgeable man. He has known the truth of the Quran. In this context, some of such predictive references I would like to share now. Ayat 18 to 20 of Surah Al-Inshiqaq say, listen, and by the moon, when it becomes full, you will surely embark from level to level, from one step to other step. So what is the matter with them that they don't believe? After referring to the moon, the verses refer that people will mount up level after level to the moon and other cosmic bodies. The word tarkabuna in the verse comes from the verb rakiba, which means to mount, walk on path, embark upon, etc. This revelation may be an inspiration to the man to explore the celestial bodies, where landing on the moon is the first step, not the last step. We will, inshallah, discuss this topic in another lecture in detail. Ayat 8 of Surah An-Nahl predicts advancement of transport and communications. And communication means modes of transport and communication. Note the words of the verse. And he created the horses, mules, and donkeys for you to ride and as adornment. Next, focus. And he creates that which you do not know 1500 years ago. Ayat 41 and 42 of Surah Yasin and Ayat 81 of Surah Al-Anbiya also give similar predictions. This matter will be discussed in a future lecture in detail, inshallah. Likewise, note the words of Ayat 39-40 of Surah An-Naml shown on the screen. Have a look. Impliedly, these verses give wonderful clue of image transmission technology that we will discuss in an upcoming lecture. So dear friends, till near past, not far away, science considered an atom as the smallest body of matter. Its division into protons, neutrons, electrons, etc. is a recent scientific discovery. While the Quran, on the other hand, reveals its unlimited division into subatoms even 15 centuries ago. Moreover, splitting of an atom to the extent of its fission is a recent scientific phenomenon too. Today, atomic nucleus can be broken down into smaller nuclei by means of nuclear fission. In this context, note the words of Ayat 95 of Surah Al-An'am shown on the screen. The word faliku in the verse may indicate splitting of an atom, breaking down. Dictionary meanings of al-nawwa are nucleus, center, or atomic nucleus of some matter. It gives revealing information on nuclear energy requiring descriptive details, very comprehensive details. Therefore, we will discuss it in another exclusive lecture. Dear friends, the Quran made several predictions of historic nature which were considered frivolous and impossibilities by the non-believers. But those were proven true by the advancement of knowledge and technology with the passage of time. We will discuss several of them in some detail in upcoming lectures. However, today, in view of time constraint, I will give just a brief overview of some of them, highlighting their significance in proving the divinity of Quran. Ayat 52 to 68 of Surah Ash-Shura reveal the encounter between Hazrat Moses and Pharaoh of Egypt, wherein Hazrat Moses and his followers were saved when they escaped from the kingdom of Pharaoh. Then Hazrat Moses and his followers were saved by providing them safe dry passage through the Red Sea, splitting the Red Sea into two parts. Water on the right side stood like the mountain, water on the left side rose like the mountain, and a dry passage was created for Hazrat Moses and his people, his followers. But while Pharaoh and his army were drowned in the sea, restoring the water flow on their arrival, When Pharaoh and his people, his armies, they arrived there, the water again was normal, was restored, flowing like the sea, as it was previously. So it is miracle for the safety of Hazrat Moses, which was told in the Quran. Allah desired to make Pharaoh a symbol of his wrath, thus further decided to preserve his body, his dead body, making it a lesson for the generations to come, as revealed in ayat 92 of Surah Yunus, which says, just focus on the words. So today, Allah says, so today, at that time, we will save you in body, Pharaoh. You means Pharaoh. We will save you in body, that you may be those who succeed, future generations, you a sign, a symbol of wrath. And indeed, many among the people are heedless of our signs, indifferent. Thus, the splitting of the sea to provide safe passage for Hazrat Moses and his followers and preserving the dead body of Pharaoh had been ridiculed, stating false stories by generations of non-believers over the centuries since revelation of these verses. But, now focus, but the truth of Quran was destined to be proven one day. Listen again. But the truth of Quran was destined to be proven one day. Finally, it happened in the 20th century when tsunami phenomenon could be observed by the oceanologists, experts of oceanology. According to tsunami phenomenon, a vacuum may happen by the movement of the entire depth of water, creating a stretch of dry land whose size and duration depend on the immensity of waves and strength of movement of winds behind. Miraculous splitting of sea observed in the era of Moses was also validated by the 1993 tsunami attack on Okushiri, Japan, which caused splitting of the water, created a hollow spot by the waves, raising mountains of water on two sides of more than 30-meter heights. Now tell me, how true are the predictions of Quran? Likewise, the Pharaoh's body was discovered during the excavation of 1898. Today, it is on display in the Royal Mummy's Chamber of the Egyptian Museum. Thus, these discoveries have proved Quranic predictions, establishing that the Quran is a revealed book. Quran is a heavenly book. Dear friends, in the corrupted Old and New Testaments, why corrupted? Because many changes have been included in these Old and New Testaments, whereas the original scripts have been missed. So in the corrupted Old and New Testaments, grave historic errors were found, as the Egyptian rulers during the eras of prophets Ibrahim and Yusuf have been named pharaohs. Now just imagine the two different prophets and different eras. While the dynasty of pharaohs was established much after the eras in which these two prophets lived. In the Quran, on the other hand, in the Quran, the Egyptian ruler at the time of Prophet Yusuf has been addressed as Al-Malik, in Ayat 50 of Surah Yusuf. And the rulers of Hazrat Moses' era have been called pharaohs in Ayat 53 of Surah Ash-Shura and Ayat 92 of Surah Yunus. The distinction made by the Quran was subsequently validated, proven by the historic data collected in the recent times. It establishes that the Quran is a revealed book, heavenly book, word of God. So dear friends, great victories of Badr, Uhud and Mecca, relevant ayat are shown on the screen. Great victories of Badr, Uhud and Mecca and the way those will be achieved were predicted much earlier than they actually happened. Byzantine Romans were defeated by the Persians in the nearby lands of Syria, Palestine, Egypt in around 615. Keep in mind, 615. The Quran predicted reversal of this defeat in ayat 2, 3, 4 of Surah Ar-Rum in the words, listen. The Byzantines have been defeated in the nearest land, but they, after their defeat, will overcome within 3 to 9 years. To Allah belongs the command before and after. And again, focus on the words. And that day, what day? When this defeat will be reversed. And that day the believers will rejoice. Now note how this prediction came true. It was just within 10 years. How much? 10 years that the Byzantine Romans grossly defeated the Persians in 624. How many years it took? From 615 to 624, 9 years. And this was prediction in the Quran. And the Muslims too defeated their much stronger Meccan enemy in the battle of Badr in the same year as predicted by the Quran in the words, and that day the believers will rejoice. Such a perfect actualization of the said predictions evidently speaks divinity of the Quran. Likewise, the Quranic predictions regarding ancient cities of Iram, Sodom and Gomorrah, then people of Saba and Arim flood, people of Al-Hijr and flood of Hazrat Noor were proven true by the historic data collected in the recent times, establishing the facts that the Quran is a revealed book without a grain of doubt. Quranic references regarding these predictions are shown on the screen. We will discuss all these miraculous predictions in detail in the upcoming lectures, inshallah. So dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion. For reference, today's lecture number is 211. Please subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures. Their written versions are also available at website www.ideafoundation.com.pk. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.